Hello, growers. Looking for a simple way to supercharge your diet with powerful nutrients? Meet broccoli microgreens. These tiny sprouts pack 10 to 100 times more nutrition than mature broccoli, making them a true superfood. With their mild flavor, broccoli microgreens can be added to any meal or smoothie, giving you a tasty health boost. They're easy to grow, ready in just 7 to 9 days, and thrive in various environments. Rich in sulforaphane, calcium, vitamin C, vitamin A, iron. They protect your cells and fight inflammation. Perfect for boosting your health goals or as a market crop. Start growing them today and experience the benefits. Get 100% organic, pathogen-tested and pathogen-free broccoli microgreen seeds at shop.moderngrower.co or using the link below.
I'd say the other part that's quite different in your original question about why aren't these all over the country? So the logistics of running a farm stop are daunting compared to a normal store. So in a normal Whole Foods or a normal Bush's or Kroger's, you have quite a limited offering of produce. It might be 30 items that are sold, and pretty much sold year round. And the restocking and replenishment is a kind of a checklist, and maybe once a day or once every few days, a truck comes in with all that stuff, and it's one delivery, normally a semi truck, and you load it in pallets, and it's one whole pathway. If you can replace that idea with like a store like ours, and I'd say each store, had pretty significant sales, on a yearly basis. It's now supplied by 100 to 200 farmers. They're showing up at all times of the day. There's never been a semi truck. It's always been pickups and vans and whatever the farm has as they're coming to town. And how do you coordinate so that you have the right product and not too much and not too little? And so I'd say the behind the scene logistics of matchmaking process, and realizing that we have some farmers that only want to text. They really don't want to call. And we have Amish farmers that you get a phone call and they ask what they should bring in, and you got to be ready for that phone call because that's the only chance you're going to get before they show up. And so the communication and logistics are the other main part of the Argus kind of model to work on beyond the customer experience.
Starting that 7 years ago, what was the cause, the why?
Mm-hmm. So we were at a point in our, I started with my wife and then a third partner, and we were kind of at a point where we were, have a career juncture, and we were looking at how we could actually transition our careers to spend our focus on efforts that were more local in nature. And we started to investigate the local food system a little bit in more detail, and found one of the unmet needs or the real challenges is that it was a little bit difficult to buy local food. There was a lot of demand in farmers, and they're willing to produce amazing local food. And there are a lot of customers that really wanted that local produce as well. But the connection between the two had been limited to farmers markets and CSAs, like farm shares and farm stands. And those are all great things. That's where you can meet the farmer and you can experience local food, but it's not really the way that people shop. It's not the way people buy most of their food. And we actually happened to be down dropping our middle son off in college in Wooster, Ohio, and came across a store called Local Roots. And it was at this point where we were trying to explore where we could apply ourselves. And we found a model that they openly shared with us, and then we took it and modified it. And then that became kind of the basis for Argus Farm Stop.
I've seen local stores like what you do as I've traveled around the U.S., but not a lot. And I don't know if there's any near me. Why is that? Why don't we see more models like this?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think in America, the food system has gradually moved to more and more industrial in its nature, where you're purchasing things from farmers that are far away from where the distance between the farmer and the customer is significant. And it has put like downward pressure on prices. It's made it harder to be a small farmer. And one statistic that we see is that on average across the nation, out of every dollar of sales, like of produce at a grocery store, only 15 cents goes to that farmer. And the 85 cents of the dollar goes to the middle people, the distributors, and the retailers. And it's not that any of those other intermediaries are bad. It's just our food system is set up that food travels on average 1,500 miles from farm to table. And that takes a lot of effort and cost, and it just pushes backwards. And so the folks that grow our nation's food are generally price takers. They're not price setters. And it makes it quite difficult for this, the small local farmer to compete against this kind of industrialized system. And so that's one of the challenges, is just the economics of growing produce compared to the industrial system is challenging.
So in a model like you run, comparing it against the traditional model where 15% makes it to the farmer, how much makes it to the farmer in your model?
So in our model, currently we're paying 75 cents. So we're paying 5 times higher to the local farms. And the 25 cents that we keep is enough for us to run a high quality store that's open every day and has staff that can help represent those farms and tell that farmer's story to people that are shopping, every day of the week and all year long. You can be sure that all of the food is local, and you can be sure that the farms are getting as much money as they can. And so we're organized as a kind of a mission-based entity. So we're looking to cover all of our costs and have a high quality store, but we're not looking to take profit out of the system. And so we really think that this reflects a true economic advantage for farmers and like the cost of buying local food.
If you enjoy farm podcasts, then tune into Carrot Cash Flow for all things farm business. Join us as we explore the latest trends, tips, and stories from market farmers running businesses just like yours. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just starting out, our podcast has something for everyone. Listen in and grow with us. Available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe to Carrot Cash Flow today.